Hi everyone, this is Heather Loftenden from the Flourish.Academy. Hey Robbie.
Hey, what's going on? It's Robbie here from YM Camera.
It's a weekly Q&A, but before we get started, I can't read your shirt, so could you explain
Look how cool the shirt is. This says Nippon Kikagu, or Nikon 100th Anniversary t-shirt. This is their original logo for Nikon.
Really?
Nikon sent me one. And
I didn't know that.
For their anniversary
That's awesome.
in Tokyo. So this is my new Friday shirt. So if we do the Q&As on Friday,
You're gonna
this
see
is
it.
the shirt I'm going to be wearing.
That's really interesting. That was their original logo.
Yeah, they have it on a couple cameras and lenses, like back in
Wow.
the, I think it was like 58 or something, 1958 or something
Really?
like that. So it's Nippon Kikagu. So
That's really neat.
It's the coolest thing ever. I love it. So,
Okay, let's get started with these questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, the first few are for you. So Colleen says, is it worth tuning up old cameras that are currently unreliable or inconsistent? For instance, her old Nikon D40 and D50 for her daughter, should she use that to start learning with, or would that just be spending money, wasting it on technology that is too old?
Nah, get a new battery, get a memory card for it, but instead of that junky old 18 to 55 kit lens, why not just get her a prime lens? Like, I think a 35-1.8 for a D40 or D50 is $200.
Yeah.
Like, pick her one of those and let her use this body. I had a D60 in high school and beginning of college, and then I went to a D90, and you know, so it's just like you could definitely have fun with those cameras. Just get her a semi-decent modern lens. You can easily find something in our used department for under $300. But yeah, get them tuned up, come get a sensor cleaned done to them, and we'll get her a nice, cheap, inexpensive prime.
I think what you're saying is get it tuned up, have it looked at, and if it's working, use it. And if it's not working or something's broken...
Oh, no, then don't put any money into it.
Right.
Honestly, like, I have to say 4 times a day, like, it's kind of like, you know, calling around about the old refrigerator or the old box TV. It's like
How much is it worth?
You really don't get it repaired. You don't put money into it.
Right,
So.
right. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica is asking, how early do I have to contact you in order to rent a lens? She needs one mid-November.
I always say just do it like 4 months and under for a lens. If you tell me 6 months out,
It's too far.
It's way too far.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, it's like I people tell me a month out, 2 months out. And day of, just walk in, say I need a lens. Honestly, like the cool thing that separates us from other rental stores is we're a retail camera store. So we have a lot of used department, and we have a lot of new gear. And sometimes if I have like 7 lenses in my new, I'll just say, hey, you rent this. I'm gonna add this to my rental department. So
that's nice.
So I will always accommodate. Hey, 7200 2.8. You know what? I have one in my used department. Let me go. You can rent that, and I'll take it out of use for a weekend. So it's like. And like we'll never double book because I'll always just open up something new for
If you have to, you'll grab it.
That is no problem.
Yeah.
Yes. So like I can say in the last 4 years I've never double booked a rental.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so they're pretty available. You've been doing pretty well keeping up with the stock.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I had Samantha, I think she's in the FA community.
Yeah.
She's like, I need a 72 or 2.8. This is like for some reason like such a huge rental weekend. And then I called Tamron. They're overnighting us like a new rental lens, so she's gonna get like a really nice new lens.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
and
cool.
People come in. They can call you to do that, or come into the store.
Call, message. Call me or message on the Facebook. Don't message me on my personal account. I always, because I drop those, because I don't take precedence on those. So YM Camera, or just give us a call. Easiest way to do it.
Okay, perfect. That's very good. Okay.
Of course, Samantha.
she's there. Yeah.
What's up, Samantha?
Samantha, I have your lens. I'm bringing it to you. I became a lens concierge for Samantha. Is working today. We live really close. I said, hey, I'll pick up the lens for you. So. Here we go. I have it. Can you ask me this question from Emily, please?
Emily, this is a long question. I have a question regarding Lightroom. Lightroom, ooh, a hot button topic right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting better at editing, the editing portion of it, but for the export process, I'm curious as to what the resolution pixels for whatever should be set at if I wanted a larger photo for, say, a canvas or any larger print, so as not to diminish the overall quality of it. I'm truly clueless. Please save me, Heather.
Okay.
I made that last part.
Okay, that's my good friend Emily. Yeah, she's fantastic. Okay, what she's talking about is upsampling. Upsampling. So if you place an order for a print that is larger than the resolution of your native file, you have to upsample. And I would say this, I would not recommend upsampling in Lightroom. Not a good idea. No, because it doesn't do the bicubic smoother, sharpener, the type of technology that Photoshop has. So, and I posted a link to Emily's question with a video that I have on the Flourish.Academy website about upsampling in Photoshop. So if you're curious, go to Flourish.Academy, search for upsampling in Photoshop, and I teach it on how to upsample for larger prints.
Okay.
So you can find it there. But no, you really wouldn't want to do it in Lightroom because it doesn't have the same ability to work with the pixels. So at least not yet.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Great question, Emily.
Yeah.
All right, what aspect ratio do you use and why?
All right, aspect ratio really depends on what comes out of the camera, and it comes out of the camera in a 2:3 ratio. So that's what I use. I always stick with the aspect ratio given to me. I do not crop based on different sizes. I do not.
Very good.
Yeah, I use, because 2:3 times 2 is 4:6, but 4:6 times 2 is 8:12.
Very cool.
Not 8:10. But why would I crop that down? So I'm going to use the original aspect ratio in the camera, and I'm going to crop at the lab level. So if I do order an 8:10 or 11:14 and it makes me crop, then I'll do that with the lab. But I'm not going to change the aspect ratio ever. In Lightroom, when you're using the crop tool, make sure the lock is checked. So the lock is checked so that you are maintaining the same aspect ratio.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we are at the camera store today, and I gotta tell employees something. Bree, we have people waiting at the door. You mind open the door up? All right.
It's opening time.
It's opening time.
Okay, this is Ann Cynthia. Yeah.
And Cynthia, is it possible to remove or edit an item from the middle of the history, such as crop, in Lightroom without disturbing the rest of the history?
Negative on that. Sorry. No, you cannot.
That's a flat no on that.
That is a straight up no. As you go through the history in Lightroom, you can step back in time, but you cannot keep these items and go back to the middle. You would have to go back to just that item or the beginning, but you can't skip through. No. And that last question, can you,
sum it up?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, I'm gonna go like back and forth a little bit. Let's see how quick we get.
One at a time.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I renamed images in Lightroom and created a proof book in the print module, thanks to the great online Lightroom workshop, Heather.
Oh, great, thank you.
However, I made copies of some images within Lightroom and want to include both in the proof book, since one version is cropped and one is not. However, Lightroom renamed both with the exact same file number. Is there a way to adjust this to each have a unique number?
Oh, well, that's a little confusing.
That is confusing. This seems like a one. Okay, so you win the. You get a free phone call from Heather on that question.
Yeah, you do. Because so what she's saying is she created virtual copies.
Virtual copies. Do you want to?
Yeah. Okay. Virtual. Mary, virtual copies that you created. Oh wow. Okay. Well, first of all, I wouldn't rename until you're done. So don't try to multiple layer rename because you'll run into trouble with that. Lightroom will get confused. I could talk about that later. But I would create the virtual copies first, and then I would select them all and rename them. And it will rename the virtual copies in order. Will it? Or will it give it the same name?
I don't know. This is a hard question. Mary stumped us. This is
That
cool.
is a good question.
I love being stumped on camera.
This is my favorite.
This is actually my favorite.
I haven't, you know what, I'd have to sit in front of Lightroom and test what she's saying, because if Lightroom views that file is the same, maybe it thinks it needs to name them both the same. But, okay, there's a bigger issue here, actually.
All right.
I'm not crazy about this workflow. So I'm going to talk to her separately about, and she knows my workflow, so we just need to talk about setting up an appropriate workflow that makes sense, because clearly that is not working.
All right. Well, okay. So I think it's the end of the questions.
Well, there's a second one in there. She has 2 questions.
Do you have any tips on posing families with young adults? I'm doing an outdoor session with no props. I'm not sure I can add variety to family shoot with older, high school, college, and aged kids.
Oh, yeah, you can. You know, I don't have any specific tips, but definitely look it up. You could look up some photos of some photographers that do it, and you can get a variety of poses. I have a little trick. Oh, what's Vanessa saying? I thought when you do a virtual copy, it automatically puts copy. It does, but what about when you batch rename all of the photos? It does put that copy, but if you try to rename that, will it let you? And I've not tested that.
We'll figure it out.
I'll figure that out for sure. Okay, so posing, you find some photographers that you follow and like. Look on Pinterest, you can find ideas. Here's the key. You want to know my trick to this?
What's your trick?
I will never remember that pose. So like I'll look at it and I'll think, oh, I'm going to do that pose, but there's no way I can remember. I take a photo on my camera of my computer screen with that pose, and then I have it on my card. So while I'm at the session, I'm like, oh, there's that pose I want to do. And isn't that so smart?
That's easy.
Yeah. So that way you can take a
She's
couple
got a playbook.
Yeah, I do have a playbook because I won't remember. I'll think, that's a beautiful pose. I can do that. And when you're in the moment, you forget, like, how was his shoulder? Or how was that? So I would take some photos and take that with you. So hopefully you found that helpful.
All right. Well, I was thinking, let's freestyle a little bit. Oh, let's go off. Like, if we have no more questions.
This is a surprise.
This is a surprise.
Okay.
Let's talk about a new gear.
Hit me with it, Robbie.
I think we have something cool in here.
I was not anticipating the surprise, but I'm flexible and I can roll with it.
Look what Profoto sent us to give to Heather to use for a little bit here. We got a Profoto A1. This doesn't come out till December, so we got
an early.
I have an early Profoto A1 right here. So Heather's gonna take it out, and she's gonna do some fun videos on it. So this is the production model. This is like what they're gonna send out. This is the retail one. So this isn't like like a demo or anything like that. This is the full Profoto A1.
This is the happiest day of my life.
This is crazy. This is supposed to be the studio light that changed it all for wedding photographers. Yeah. We're gonna hook you up, so you get to play with that.
You guys, thank you. This is a huge deal.
So Profoto A1, we're Profoto dealers. We're gonna be getting these in, and I can't wait to see. This is supposed to be like natural light. Like when if you hate that hard flash look, this is just supposed to remedy all your problems. This is gonna be your new best friend, Profoto A1. So Heather, I want a full review on it. I want you to be brutally honest. I want to see how you like it, what you don't like.
Okay, that's fair.
We're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, totally.
But from what I've used, I was using the A1s with the B1Xs. It was awesome. It is Christmas in October. I love that.
Oh, this is great. It's like my birthday. Okay, this is very interesting because it is the world's smallest studio light.
It is.
This is not a flash. People think they look at this and it looks like it is not. No. Not a flash. It's a studio light. It just has the portability of a flash.
Well, and the cool thing is, some guy, a techie guy came in, he's like, what is the exact lumens and flash power? And I said, don't worry, you're asking the wrong question. Because that's not what this is about. We met with the president of Profoto, and he was saying, this is the Apple flashes. This is the iPhone flashes. It's just easy to use, and it just works. And it just fills correctly. We got a beautiful modeling lamp.
It's a model light. I found it.
Mirror. So I was doing that off camera, and I was using one of their other studio lights, and I'm like, how is this so easy? This shouldn't be that easy.
Wow.
So Heather, you get to use that. I want to see some samples from it, some reviews, some work, but
this is great. It's supposed to be a really nice weekend. I'm teaching tomorrow the DSLR workshop. I'll take this with me, so I will practice with it both outside because it has high-speed sync.
Yeah.
And towards dusk, at sunset times. I have a couple of shoots this weekend. I think it's going to be great. I'm actually really, really excited about this to add it into my workflow. I think
so awesome.
I think it's gonna be a game changer. Do you?
I think I am never been more excited. I'm not truly a photographer. I love taking photos. I don't charge for my work, but as soon as I got this, I texted 3 of my friends in bands, and I said, hey, we're doing a shoot. And I already shot with it, and I just had so much fun.
Did you use it on or off camera when you were shooting?
I used it off camera and on camera, and it was just surprising.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. May I ask, how did you trigger it?
I used the Air Remote TTL. I don't think I have one.
Oh, okay.
Here,
all right.
But it's it all works together. It's like if I gave you right now, hey, here's a Nikon SB700 and a D750 and a SB910. Can you pair all these together? You'd be pulling your hair out with that Pocket Wizards.
Yeah.
These things are just so easy to pair. That was I haven't really worked with a lot of mono lights or a lot of high-end flashes, so I think I started with a Mercedes as my first car.
I think so.
But it was just I can turn this off, turn this on, underpower this, TTL meter just the skin, and it was I'll show you. It's insane. You guys are gonna go crazy about this. It's
and
so
it looks like it has some modifiers.
Right. Look at this is mag mod on crack. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they're all magnet modifiers. Oh. They're all proprietary to what it is. But so now I can go like this. This is all included with it. And you can go the bounce guard and that, and all stacked, all magnet.
I'm gonna use it.
Isn't it cool?
I kind of wish I had it for Camera Club the other night because
I know,
the sunset's so early now.
I know.
But it was still pretty out, and I was wishing that we had some lighting, like off-camera lighting that people could use to keep photographing, even though the sun had set. Because we had this really pretty setup.
So here's the Pro Remote. So you'll need for OCF.
Okay. Yeah, they're calling it Air TTL.
Air TTL.
Air TTL.
Look at this thing too. We got they sent me every modifier they make for it and the gels. So we're having fun.
Oh, I know what I'm doing Sunday after
church.
Looks
like the Handmaid's Tale here. This is crazy. Alright. Yeah, you're gonna have so much fun.
Wow.
That's gonna be awesome.
So there's that. Okay.
Alright.
So next, I'm gonna work with this all weekend. I'll do some live videos.
No one has the Profoto A1 yet. No one. No,
How did you get so lucky? How did you swing that?
Heather,
No, it was you.
So we're gonna have some fun.
Because they love you guys. Yeah, you work really well with them. The
cool.
Profoto lights. Look at that.
That's gonna be fun.
The world's smallest studio light.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think so I'm excited.
That's gonna be great fun. All right. Are we good? Anything else we need to... We do need to... There's a few other things Robbie and I have been talking about we need to cover. We're going to save that for another video. But hey, have a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Spooky.